Hello, welcome to Skill Check, the positive gaming podcast from YMC Exeter. My name is Andy,
And my name is Becky.
and we have a couple of notices coming up.
Notices?
Notices coming up. No, we have notices now.
We have notices.
Yes.
We have notices.
This is really start. So, we have Space coming up.
Yeah, Space next week.
What is Space?
So, Space is our community cafe event that we run with South Street Baptist Church. It happens from 6:30 onwards till 9 o'clock at Palace Gate, which is down by the cathedral in Exeter. If you are around, please do come along. It's a drop in, drop out thing.
So we say next week. Date of recording is the 2nd of February. So we are currently talking about Wednesday the something.
I'm going to look it up. What is it?
Say 5th.
7th. You were close. It's Wednesday the 7th of February. It's every other week. So if you get from the 7th of February, count forward 2 weeks, it'll be that week as well. Come along. We did some crocheting. Last week we had the Switch. They got really into the Switch.
Awesome.
So good. It was really fun to watch. Some slightly
was it like Mario Kart?
Mario Kart.
Kind of
playing
Dutch matching
against
each other.
If you are really good at playing on the Switch, do come along because we'd love you. Like there were some lovely older people there who just were playing the Switch this week, and it was really good fun to watch and be a part of that. So
awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I will go. I continue to go forever. No, it's really good. So.
We're also going to take a mini podcast break coming up, which kind of colours kind of what we talk about over today and next week a little bit. And explain why we're doing it in slightly weird order.
Yeah, because we are. So it's half term, so we generally take half terms off because Andy has more people that are at home. Small person that's at home, instead of being at school, which is a lot of it. And then also I'm away for a week as well. So we're just going to take a couple of weeks break.
Very quick break, 2 weeks, and then we'll be back. But come back next week.
Yeah, we'll be here next week.
Yeah. Today, though, we have. Well, all you got before me.
Come on, Andy. What have we got?
I am talking Gris. Gris.
Gris.
Yeah. We are talking Internet Safety Day, which is next week.
Okay.
But before that, we have gaming news.
Our first piece of gaming news today is Microsoft. Microsoft has shared its Q2 2024 financial report, reporting significant revenue gains across its gaming division, including a massive 61% increase in Xbox content and services revenue, following its $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Microsoft's gaming revenue increased by 49% compared to the equivalent quarter in its previous financial year. The company has reported a 61% boost in Xbox content and service revenue, which encompasses money generated by the likes of Game Pass, alongside a 3% increase in Xbox hardware revenue. So lots of people buying Xboxes. Microsoft Activision Blizzard's acquisition was a key driver in its Q2 growth, contributing to more than $2 billion of revenue. I mean, it's going to some money back already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you invest in a big game making studio and you get your money back.
Yeah, considering that we spent quite a lot of last year talking about how we weren't sure whether it was going to go through, and then there were loads of competition problems, and I think Microsoft have invested well.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of the games that I heard people playing. It's like buying Xboxes for.
Yeah,
and if it kind of matches, if the time frame matches up with these results. I mean, I'm not sure if it does, but I definitely saw reports of people buying Xboxes for Starfield
games. Oh, okay. Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the time frame matches up with the Q2 report or not.
Yeah.
But the Activision Blizzard thing is all about the games that Microsoft have access to. So
the big one being the one that we forget.
Yeah. Which I think probably leads on nicely to the next article.
The next article. Fortnite. Popular video game Fortnite is to come back to iPhones in the EU after a 4-year absence. Developer Epic Games will be allowed to have on its own app store after a new law came into play designed to increase competition. Currently, any apps downloaded onto iPhone can only come from Apple's own app store. But Apple must allow its customers to access alternative app stores on iOS devices purchased in the EU from March. Apple has always maintained that the rules protect the security of the users. Apple have been accused of creating a monopoly, giving customers and developers no choice but to go through its own channels and charging developers up to 30% commission. Yeah.
So there's an argument that Apple have a point over security, and just the amount of reports you get of people downloading dodgy software onto their iPhones really a thing.
Yeah.
And all this is currently in the EU.
Yeah, so it won't be in the UK. We're not under EU laws anymore.
There are apparently laws and stuff kind of going through Parliament to try and make this a thing.
Yeah.
I guess the reason why I kind of linked the previous to this is because I so see Microsoft releasing its own
app store with Candy
Crush on.
So yeah, it looks like probably. You know what annoys me about it though? And I get it. Like I understand why they want to do it. It's because it keeps the money in their own business.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is you're going to have 6 different app stores on your phone because all of the apps are going to come from different places, and it's going to get really irritating.
Welcome to the world of PC.
But it's going to get really annoying because you're just going to have I'll have to have Google for these apps. Oh, I'll have to have Microsoft for these apps. Oh, I'll have to have
Steam launcher for these games, Epic launcher for these games.
It's going to get really annoying. And you're going to have to go, to get this app that I want to put on my phone, I'm going to have this other app to put on this app, and it's just going to get really irritating.
Load of the Xbox launcher in order to load up the Minecraft launcher in order to load up Minecraft.
All in my head, I'm going, my phone does not have a huge memory. This is going to clog up my phone, and I'm not going to be able to do anything on it. I mean, I don't have a lot of games.
By the time it gets there, you'll probably be due an upgrade.
Yeah, it's true. However, it's a lot of clogging up and lots of it really irritates me.
It does make things more complicated. Yeah,
it's not pleasant. I mean, again, we always talk about this, but it is money. It's because they if they have their own app store, then they can keep the commission in their place.
Pockets, bank accounts.
Yeah. So if Microsoft own these games, they can then create their own app store. They can then keep the money within their own space rather than into Apple. So it's it's a complicated.
And talking about money.
Not how you're just smoothly moving on, so beautiful. So BT, some BT customers are being signed up and charged for Xbox Game Pass without their knowledge or consent. An extra £10 per month was added to their internet bills despite them not requesting the gaming subscription. Customers have been complaining about the issue on BT Online's forums for several months. Those who have spoken about it have said that they had had their money refunded, but found that the experience was worrying. BT has apologised to customers to be on the lookout for similar problems. One person has found the extra charge as recently as Tuesday.
Oops.
Yeah. Interesting. You can't, but for reference, you cannot charge people for things they don't want. And we haven't asked for. It's not even about those. They just haven't asked for it.
Yeah, I mean, on the website, it's something you gotta select.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
And looking into this a little bit more, there's this great quote apparently from a BT employee about how there's a system failure between BT and Microsoft.
Okay.
I'm not sure. It sounds more like BT.
Okay.
I think this just. Yeah. Check your bills, people.
If you are a BT customer for the internet, please do check your bills. I think that's our little takeaway from this. And if you are if you have got it on your bill, you can get it refunded. And like you haven't asked for it, you can get it refunded just for your information.
Yeah, get refunded, or if it's new, as of last Tuesday, xbox.com/play, I think, is how to play Xbox games on the cloud.
If you want it,
if you want it.
I generally put this bit of news in because I was like, we might have some people that like have BT in the internet.
Yeah.
So
it's worthwhile.
It's a little bit of worthwhile knowledge.
If it's not something you want, I guess.
Or if you already have it through Xbox, you don't have to get it again. So
that's true.
Like,
I mean, I've got it through BT.
You have it through BT.
Yeah.
Okay. But like,
I think at the time it works out cheaper.
Okay. But it's just it's worth if you already have a Game Pass through the Xbox and you have a BT, it's worth just double checking.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's the end of gaming news.
Okay, so it is Internet Safety Day next week at the time of recording. Next Tuesday. Yes.
What's the date? Let's have a look.
Tuesday,
just keep talking.
The 6th
of
February.
I was a January.
February is a Wednesday that we learned earlier.
Yes, that's true. It's the 6th of February. And we're in February and I will miss a January. It's now February. Whoa!
So
Internet Safety Day.
Otherwise known as Safer Internet Day, depending on what bit of internet you look at.
Yeah.
So just to borrow a little bit of spiel from their website, it is there to kind of raise awareness of a safer and better internet for all, especially for children and young people. As part of this annual celebration, we encourage everyone, including children and young people, parents and caregivers, teachers and educators, policymakers, industries, and others to join together for better internet.
Did you get all that? He said it quite quickly.
It was a long spiel, and if I said it slowly, it would have sounded really boring. But the important thing is, it's there. It's basically a day where everyone comes together to talk about raising awareness for a safer and better internet for all.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd have a quick chat about staying safe, gaming online, staying safe online, kind of general digital safety stuff.
Yeah.
And this is kind of off the back of a little kind of real video thing that I've done for a wider organisation that's going to be released on Safer Internet Day.
Yeah.
So this is kind of probably going to expound a little bit of that as well.
Yeah.
So we have 5 points.
Okay.
Number 1, move gaming into public space.
So what do you mean by that, Andy?
So there is this preconception of the right word, that what a gamer looks like is someone who kind of sits in their room, it's dark, they stay there all day, and they never kind of interact with anyone.
Okay.
What I'm suggesting is that if, and I guess this is very much aimed at parents or people with responsibility for younger people in general, but try and find a way to encourage gaming to be a shared activity, to be in the living room, to be in the lounge.
Yeah.
Either as much as possible or maybe 1 or 2 evenings a week.
Okay. Yeah, I think we, I was actually just talking to a colleague about this yesterday, and actually some of it is just encouraging conversation. So actually...
To make it an event.
Yeah. And if you are doing it in public spaces, we were chatting about her daughter who is just getting into the stage of like wanting social media. And we were talking about how to make it safe, because it isn't, social media is a black zone and it can cause lots of mental health problems and stuff like that. And there was a sort of thing with gaming as well. So we were chatting about how do you make it safe, and a lot of it is around conversations. So having conversations, but also have you ever played the games that your kids are playing? Because if you haven't, try it. It's worth doing it. Even full on, I am rubbish at a lot of the games that young people play. Fortnite in particular, I am terrible at it. But having played it, I can tell them what
you've got that
there's
thing
a
to discuss, haven't
conversational
you?
starter.
You can talk about it. You can
Yeah.
talk about struggling in the river when things are happening.
There is a video online of me just drowning in a river in Fortnite. Not drowning. I don't think you can actually drown, but I was
you're really shy. It was just very stressful experience for you.
It was
fun for me.
Yeah. But it's just having playing the games with them or playing it without them, and then having a conversation with them about it and saying asking them why they like playing it, what get out of it. I think it's just been really open. And
I think the fact you got involved, which point number 4, by the way, kind of gives you that opportunity to have this conversation. In that, if you didn't get involved with Fortnite, in that if you didn't play it, you wouldn't be able to share those memories.
Yeah.
And I'd go further that if you are responsible for a little person, so particularly if you're responsible for a little person and they are into gaming, get involved and kind of almost find games that you yourself enjoy playing, so you yourself can.
Yeah. And then I will say there's such a wide variety of games. There will be something you enjoy. And also, it's really worth noting that you probably, without even knowing, do some form of gaming. Even if you play Wordle, that's technically gaming. Even if you're just playing, my parents are really into Bejeweled, which is a it's basically pre-Candy Crush. It's the same game as Candy Crush, basically. But my dad still plays it on his tablet, and I'm literally sitting there going, that is gaming. So there will be games you enjoy, you just maybe don't realise it.
Totally. And I think both those points work really well with things like social media and general internet use as well.
Yeah.
In that, if you encourage phones to be used in the lounge, or where the kind of public social space is, that keeps it a bit more open.
Yep.
And you are less likely to be keeping it secret, keeping it kind of away from others. If actually what people are used to are social media, internet browsing happening around people, either on phones around people or on a screen where everyone else can see what's happening around you as well, which I would also argue that would also help with things like people chatting online.
Yeah.
Which moves us nicely onto one of our other points, which is knowing who people are gaming with. And you've got the discussion that's good, so you can talk about who it is and if they're likely to be friends with them offline as well.
Yeah.
But we looked at a study the other.
So this is a study by Youthscape, who are a Christian organisation that operate from East, and they did a big piece of surveying around lots of different things. And it's about I can't remember what the piece was. It's something about interpreting God or something like that. But part of this survey was how young people game, and it turns out, which I think a lot of people wouldn't expect, is that this is a survey of young people under 18. But most young people will play games with people they know rather than people they don't know. So it was I think it was only 25% or something like that play games with people they don't know. That means that 75% of time young people are playing games with people they know in real life. So it would be school friends or it would be someone else. They are people that they know in real life. They're not. Don't presume that the people that your kids are playing with online are people they don't know. A lot of the young people we have at Youth Club tell me about the fact that they've all been playing Fortnite together. They play it as a group together. They don't play it they don't play with people they don't know.
And I think that's great because what that is, it's you've got increased connectedness between them as a group.
Yeah.
So that friendship doesn't end when they leave school, when they leave youth group. It carries on, and in a way, they are socializing.
Yeah.
Outside of those kind of more traditional settings, and they're kind of continuing on in that relationship and getting to know each other through the medium of shooting each other in Fortnite.
Yeah. And it's I think people presume that they're gaming with people they don't know, and that's an assumption that, like, with this piece of research that is done basically, you can find it on their website. It says that they're not, like, it says in sort of clear bracket, like clear numbers, that they are not gaming with people they don't know.
People generally game with people that they know.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, the controversial one. Discuss age ratings.
Yeah, interesting.
I was hesitant to put this in, and if you've seen the reel, so I'm very sorry about the reel. I was having an interesting afternoon when I put it together. I'm probably never going to watch it myself, but discussing age ratings was part of the initial script for it, and I purposely didn't put it in because I feel it's a bit more nuanced.
Yeah.
Than saying anyone under age of 12 should not be playing a 12 rated game. It's probably more down to the individual and the individual parents and situation and all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's down to knowing.
Yeah, again, I mean, I'm going to come back to Fortnite again. So one of the conversations we regularly have at youth work is, can they play Fortnite in youth club? And I mean, it's something that I am going to have to start looking into again. So Fortnite's a 12 rating.
Yeah.
We have young people at youth club that are under 12. So it makes it really challenging because like they'll go, oh, we play at home, and I'm like, it's really difficult to say, like, I'm not your parent. Your parent is going to let you play, and that's fine. That's their choice. But in this situation, I know that you're not all of you are 12. Can we play at youth club? So it's really, I mean, it encourages conversation about ratings and why. Like, we have had lots of discussions around why we won't let them play at youth club, whether we should or not. I mean, if you're a youth worker and you've got an opinion on it, it'd be really helpful because I really struggle with it. But yeah, it's a really interesting one, and we do have lots of conversations about overrating because of that. So, like, having a conversation about why they think it's a 12 is a really interesting one. Yeah, and like, there are games they play which are higher ratings that their parents happily let them play, and it's really interesting discussion to have about ratings and seeing how they play them at home.
I'm not sure if game ratings is rated in exactly the same way as like the normal kind of DVD Blu-ray ratings work, but I know that movies are kind of rated that they kind of bear in mind, for example, how much to swear.
Yeah.
So if someone swears once, that's probably a 12.
Yeah.
If they swear every 2 minutes, it could be an 18.
Yeah.
And therefore, I guess if you put that into gaming context, if you play a game for, 10 minutes, that could have a very different impact, very different feel.
Yeah.
Than someone who plays it for hours and hours and hours on end as well. So, which takes me back a little bit to the nuance and it's more of a complex discussion.
Yeah.
I think the Taming Gaming website has quite a bit on this.
Yeah.
And this week's podcast notes will contain lots of links.
Yeah.
So lots of things. So please have a look. But yeah, complicated. Have a discussion. And it could be a case of discussing why they want to play that game.
Yeah.
Do they want to play that game just because all their friends are playing that game? Is there a controlled way to play that game? Are there things in that game that they don't feel particularly happy with?
Yeah.
If they don't feel particularly happy with it, is there a reason? And could potentially be a way of having a meaningful conversation rather than a yes, no. Lastly, parental controls.
Yeah, these are getting so much more elaborate.
Yes. Now, there's a school of thought that, you should just not use them. I'm not sure, personally, as a parent of a kid who's just kind of moving into that world of having their own devices and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you asked me this 8 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, let's just make sure it's all public and then it'll be fine. Personally, I think my opinion's now changing a little bit there, and I'm kind of more leaning towards parental controls a bit more.
Yeah. So, some of them. So actually, when I was having this conversation with my colleague yesterday, she was showing me on her phone that like is a Google app that you can get that basically will tell her what her kids are doing on her phone. So she can see what apps they've been using, she can put limits on the apps they're using.
Yeah.
It's mad. But it will give you as a parent, some sense of understanding and without blocking them completely from that world. Because I think that would, like, if you try and block it from them completely, that often creates a lot of tension, and that's not it. Sometimes they, can rebel and try and do it secretly. Whereas having conversations and actually saying to them, there are parental controls on this, there's a reason for that. I can see what you're doing on your phones. It's really like just having it again. It's all about having conversations.
Yeah.
And for her, that's worked really well because her children know she can see what they're doing on the phone, but also they have conversations around, do you think this is a sensible limit? Like, how long do you think you should be playing for? Like, it's really interesting. It was a really interesting conversation, but I think it's worth knowing that you can do that, but also, that it is really valuable to have conversations and use it as a conversational tool.
Yeah. Whilst also knowing that every kid, every parent, every situation is different.
Yeah.
We all try our best. Hopefully, though, there's some ideas and some tools here and in the podcast notes to help everyone out. So please check out the podcast notes for more information.
And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, what's your game this week?
So it's been a bit of a weird week. So I'm going to repeat an old game that I've mentioned before, but I have been playing this week. And talk about Gris. It's a puzzle platformer, which free of danger, frustration, no death or anything like that at all.
That's the win.
Yeah. I say there's a little bit of frustration for some of the puzzles, but nothing too bad. I would personally describe it as more of a work of art than a video game.
Nice.
It looks pretty.
Yeah.
This game is, the game is gorgeous. The music is amazing. The game is a game that very gently walks you through the stages of grief.
Nice. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, but it does look nice.
Yeah.
It is very emotional, and the ending is quite emotional as well. In that, at the start, something happens. Not massively clear exactly what. It's quite metaphorical.
Yeah.
We presume someone's death.
Okay.
And at the end, again at the start, the main character's voice goes to say something, but her voice kind of gets stuck and can't talk. Right at the end, you find your voice once more.
Okay.
Massively recommend. Is available on basically all the platforms. It's on Switch, PC, Xbox, Android, PlayStation, Amazon Luna apparently.
Wow. iOS.
It's often found in kind of seasonal sales.
Okay.
So like Christmas sales, summer sales.
Yeah.
The regular excuseful sales is often found there, especially on Switch. I've seen, and it can be found for just a couple of quid.
Nice.
And it's also currently on Xbox Game Pass as well.
Nice. That sounds good. And that is all we've got time for in our podcast today. We hope that you've enjoyed the experience. If you do, please, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Those are the words we use. And also, feel free to give us a shout if you, we'd like to comment anymore. You can find us on all social medias at YMCA Exeter and at YMCA Exeter Games. And we will see you next week.